Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the tarot portion, I'm using the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Already shuffled. Let's go ahead and get right into it. As soon as I turned on the camera, I'm already feeling annoyance and small annoyances. It's happening. It's very interesting to me how that's happening. I feel like this situation is going to be a little bit aggravating, but I think it's going to go your way, actually. Which is not, to me, it's not surprising for Virgo. They can weather through a lot, and I swear the ones that I know, they tend to, do well in the long run. Things might go a little wonky, but they soldier through it, and things tend to go their way because of their attitude. It just seems like that's how it works. That's where this reading is going to go anyway. That might be a little bit more, everybody has ups and downs. I am getting that aggravation, though. I'm getting the Nine of Swords with the Queen of Cups, but it feels more aggravating than, distress. You know what I mean? The Nine of Swords is usually, regret and sadness and worry and stuff like that, but it feels more aggravating, especially with the Queen of Cups energy with it. Because it's kind of like you're holding back. You're not really voicing your opinion about something that's not quite on point. And it feels aggravating. It's not so much worry as aggravation I'm feeling with this Nine of Swords. And the situation as a whole, I feel like you want to be a part of this. It's just something isn't right. In the environment, the Ace of Swords is coming in. Somebody's making changes, and then they're just pushing those changes forward. And it's almost like you're going on a road trip, and you had certain things packed, and you were going to do this, and you had that. So when you stop this far, you can have these snacks, and you have these other things packed, like maybe rollerblades or some type of apparatus, so that when you get this far on the trip, you can use this stuff. You had things set, and you had things packed and ready to go. And then you get halfway down the road, and you realize that they decided that, we're not going to do that, the food there. I left that because I didn't think we needed it. And you're like, what do you mean you thought we didn't need it? Well, we're going to do this instead. And then maybe, for example, the rollerblades, they decided, we're not going to bring those. We're not going to do that. They didn't tell you. They just took them out of the car. And then you're finding out afterwards, things were changed. Things you had planned were changed. And it's just kind of like somebody just took the liberty of making these changes and moved on without it. And now that you're halfway down the road, it's just too late to go back and get them. And that's the Ace of Swords over here. Somebody decided to make changes, and you were planning on things. And it's just, that's the aggravation of it. It's just kind of like you had things planned, you had things packed and ready to go, and everything was set. And then you're finding out halfway down the road, somebody took those things out and decided you were going to do something different. And now that you're on your way, you can't fix it. And it's annoying. I feel like it's mostly annoying. It's not cool. It's not okay. But it's at this point you're like, I feel you're keeping it to yourself because you're like, well, at this point, I don't want to then I'll have to go off schedule to fix these things, and it's not worth it. You are aggravated though, but you're not saying anything because you're like, it's not worth it right now. Not right now. Maybe later you'll say something, but for right now you're just a little annoyed with it is what I'm feeling. The Nine of Cups with the discernment is another reason I feel you're not saying anything if this reading is hitting with you. I know general read and all other good stuff. Because discernment is here with the Nine of Cups. The situation, nothing is going way off course. It's just little annoyances. You know what I mean? It's kind of instead of the food that you had packed to stop and do these things, they've decided you're going to stop and get food somewhere else. And they've taken away your ability to have that option. Still going forward, still going to have food, just maybe spending a little bit more money than you wanted to, and not doing it the way you really wanted to, but it's still going a good way. It's still successful. Discernment is telling me you don't want to make this situation a bad situation. Even though you'd be correct by complaining about this, it's not going to help the situation. It's not going to make your day any better. That's why discernment is saying it's not worth the battle. It's still going to work out. It's just really annoying, and it's not right, but it's not worth causing a hubbub about it. I like the word hubbub at the moment. Don't know why. So this is talking about an incident that seems to be building into the next situation. That moment goes on. That happens. You get through it. You're just like that. Not really right, but it worked out. It still worked out. I don't feel like you really said anything about it if this reading is hitting. Even after the fact, you're just kind of like, you kind of rolled your eyes like, yeah, whatever. I know what I'm dealing with. It's fine. Now, another situation is coming forward. Somebody's offering you something, same type of situation. I feel like it feels a little bit like a repeat, but you're expecting it this time. Like, I feel like you're having like a repeat, like it's not like a road trip, almost like it's like a day out. You're having a planned, something else you're getting planned where you're going to do something, you got things set up, you got this planned, you got that planned, and somebody just changes things and pushes that forward again without really consulting you. Like, you were supposed to do A, B, and C, and they're like, well, we're going to do A, D, and F. And you're like, okay. And but it seems like this time you're expecting it a little more. This is the environment, the Star card and the Knight of Cups. Somebody seems to be very excited. They're just kind of doing what they want. You're going along with it. Things are going a little differently again. It's like it's a repeat, kind of like things are not going the way you planned them to go. You're not so shocked about it this time is what I'm getting. You're not really shocked about it at all. You're not saying anything again. This time it's because of the Five of Swords. Kind of like, it's just not worth it. But I do see the abundance face down. Like, it seems like you're having a good time. This isn't going off as planned, but you're having a good time. But the Five of Swords is telling me it's a little different. The annoyance is still a little bit there because it's kind of like flying by the seat of your pants, but it doesn't mean enough to worry. Like, it's almost like this one is different. It's like it was supposed to be dinner and a movie, except instead of a movie, like, scratch that. We're gonna go do this. We're gonna go clubbing instead. And then we're going to have some food afterwards. It's that type of change. You know what I mean? It's not that big a deal. It's still fun. It's not worth complaining about. You're like, well, I'd rather have had the dinner first, and I was looking forward to that movie. But, for example, maybe you like dancing, just for argument's sake. And you're like, well, that's fine. Or you're doing something else fun. It's like, well, it's still fun. Okay. And then the food afterwards isn't the best food. It's almost like diner food. But you're like, afterwards, it's just kind of like you need something to eat. It's fine. It's cool. It's okay. But you're like, it's really not worth saying anything again. You kind of expected this energy to be a little wonky. You're not really bent out of shape about it. All right. So, in the future, I find this interesting. You're setting this up for your own success. Now, I feel like you're taking the current situation and the past situation. There were variables. Other people had the ability to change things. The next situation going forward, you know what you want. And you've decided that for you to keep this Ace of Pentacles, which is on your side, you have more control. It's almost like if there's going to be a trip and there's going to be stops along this trip, you're going to be using your vehicle, you're going to be the one driving, and you're going to be packing the car and picking people up. That way, they don't have a chance to really take things out and make those changes. You're going to stop where you want to stop, and you're going to have things there, and they're not going to have the chance to take things out of the vehicle. You're going to lock that vehicle if you have to when you go to bed and hide the keys. If that's what you have to do to make sure this works out, that's what you're going to do. Because you're planning ahead. You're like, all right, I know how this has worked out before. I'm going to make this work out my way. This makes sense to me for Virgo. Like, you're planning ahead. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure this next one works out my way, and I'm gonna make it a non-issue. I'm gonna be the one in control, and I'm gonna put things to the side where I don't give other people the ability to make changes to my plans. They're not gonna have the ability to do that, and you get this peace. Like, you're learning from these past events. At this point, it'll be past events. One's more current, it feels for me. But, like, you had aggravations, a little bit of disappointment, wasn't worth saying anything. And you're like, all right, I see how this energy works. I see how this person works or whatever you're dealing with. I'm going to work around it. I'm going to make this work my way. And it does. You seem good. I'm getting you're taking the power away from somebody else to change things. I don't feel bad about it, but I'm noticing the shadow side comes in and the Six of Pentacles. Like somebody, whoever it is, they want to change things. They want to do this to you again. They want to just randomly change things. They feel like a random person, which is not bad, but it's not conducive with the flavor, with your flavor. How's that? But they're not causing a problem with it. But it seems like the things are a little like I feel like they're getting their just desserts. Like the shadow side is kind of like, you know, they're a little uncomfortable, but I feel like you're okay. They might be a little bit more vocal about complaining about it because they want to be a little bit more random. I think that's what the shadow side is actually. They might be a little bit more vocal about like how they like to be a little bit more random. And I feel like they can't really push you off course, but this is karma coming in. This is kind of like, now they see what it's like, you know, when things go your way. This is a good lesson, because in this part, it goes your way and you feel really good. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have peace on your side too. Even though the shadow side is there, you're aware that this person is a little uncomfortable is what I'm getting. But that's okay, because they need to have the balance. You told them how this was going to work out, and you're holding to it. But this is good, because this is exactly how this is working out. There's nothing wrong with that. But this other person is experiencing how it is the way you like it. This is a great balance. Whatever this person is, however they add into your life, this is good information. They need to know this is how this works for you. This is how you like it. You've experienced it, feels like twice at least twice. You've experienced how they like it. Now they need to experience how you like it. That's fair. That's a good balance. I feel like this is going to make sense more as things go down the road and how you relate to this person. You may do less things together. You're going to have to hash this out, because I think you and this person, this seems to be causing a conversation at some point, because they seem to be more vocal about what they do and don't like. And I feel like when they're bringing stuff up, you're just saying, well, I like things, when you plan things, you follow through on the things you have planned on. Like, I feel like your energy's coming back with that. Not in a harsh way, just like, well, this is how I like it. This is making things better. You and this person seem to understand each other a lot better. You may be doing less things in the future, but I feel like there might be a better compromise in understanding how each person works and how you add up and how to do that thing a little better. Like, it feels like this is a getting to know you better situation. It seems to be helpful. I don't think it's bad. It might be a little stressful when you start talking it out, because you may realize that you may not be as compatible as you'd like to be, but you find a way. You understand each other better. I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.